Good evening, everyone. I'm going to give you a few minutes to jump on. I'm actually a couple of minutes, 3 minutes early, actually. So I know those of you have missed me for the past 2 weeks. It feels like it's been over a month since I've been on, but it's only been 2 weeks. Well, three weeks. Anyway, I'm sure you've missed me, and I'm sure you're shocked to see that I'm on early tonight. 3 whole minutes early. It's a new year. Look at me. Um, So, for those of you joining on Facebook, hello, Kevin. I see you over there. Don't forget that I only address questions that are asked of me from people who are tuning in from YouTube. You Facebook people get to see the ugly green screen behind me, and everybody on YouTube sees this pink Pop Rocks looking thing in the background. So, for those who are new and not so new, just type in where you're tuning in from. And if this is your first time ever watching this, what is this? This is my Monday night live broadcast where I can interact with all of you and you can ask questions that you've always wanted to know about mediumship, about energy, about meditation, about the law of attraction, life, blocks, people, thoughts, blah blah blah. So it's a show about life and death, actually. So just type in where you're tuning in from because I always like to see that. And if it's your first time, let me know how you heard about it. So I want to go over a couple of things that are coming up at the center this very week. We have yoga stories by my yoga instructor, Kelly Cam, and she does a mythology story time. It's not a yoga class. It is a story time where she actually goes into Hindu mythology and she weaves a tale like I can't even tell you. The way she speaks and tells a tale just lures you in and makes you totally enthralled and brought into the story. And then after she tells the whole myth and she'll explain each god and goddess and whoever shows up and she'll give the backstory to the story. Afterwards, it's kind of like a time for introspection, as whether you see where in your life today, even though these stories were written thousands of years ago, where in your life today the story and the theme is relevant to you now. So over the summer we did this, and my 16-year-old son and his girlfriend attended, and they loved it. So if 16-year-old teenagers, at first I was like, just come, and they're like, oh, it's going to be so stupid. They loved it. They keep asking when it is again, and we've offered it, and they weren't able to come that time. So hopefully this Wednesday they'll come. So that's this Wednesday. You can sign up in advance on my website, deborahhanlon.com. That way we know how many people are coming. It's easier that way. So yes, people are typing already. Kelly is awesome. She really, really is. Oh, Kevin, look at you. You jumped in over here. So how's Cavern? Hello, Laura. It's definitely a sign. Ugh, that tea is so gross. Yuck. How many of you, especially those of you tuning in on the Northeast, have some sort of cough or cold or throat or nasally sinusy thing? I have had this cough since December 2nd. So it's pissing me off. It's making me crazy. And Greg made me this horrifying tea over there. We didn't know it was horrifying. It said lemon echinacea. To me, it tastes like complete licorice. Tastes like black licorice to me. So I don't know. I'm going to soothe my throat. I'm going to do whatever it takes, but this is getting old. But how many of you have your family members or somebody down for the count? And this, I know Eileen, if she's tuning in. Yeah, there you are, Eileen. I see you. It's just a throat cough. It's a dry cough. Like, it's so aggravating. So how many of you have this, and what have you done to get rid of it? Kevin, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, take all this stuff I gave you. Now I have to go pull them out of the cabinet because you're right. Yeah, see, Laura, you had a cough since November. This is crazy. This is not right. This is not normal. It's not normal. I'm establishing that now. See, bronchitis, coughing for 3 weeks. It doesn't go away. It's really 4 to 6 weeks. It's been that. Anyway, so I don't like to be Debbie Downer with that, but it's pissing me off, and I can't stay in my usual Zen sweetheart zone. That's me. I just took a big thing of honey on my way down here too. I did the honey thing to coat my throat, and I don't know. Okay, don't drink the tea. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, it tastes like black licorice, but I got to do something. So I thought a couple of, oh, and then the other announcement is I'm my Energy Transformation Awareness Part 4. So you have to take 1, 2, and 3. For those of you who have taken the mastery level class before, I've mentioned it to you that I'm going to offer it to you guys as a refresher. And then anyone who has taken all the 1, 2, and 3 and hasn't taken the final mastery, that is at the end of this month. So still time to sign up for that. And I have 2 more spots on my Italy trip. I have now 8 people, that's 7, 8 people who have expressed interest and are kind of on the fence. And as soon as 2 of those 8 or 2 of you tuning in give me the go ahead and tell me like, yep, you're committed, that's it. So I need 2 more for Italy, which is July 16th to the 25th. And that we spend a day in Rome on the Friday and part of the day on Saturday. And then on Saturday afternoon, we are taken in a van to Umbria, and we begin a unbelievable journey for deep introspection. When I say journaling time, I'm not building in time for journaling into my workshops, but I'll be encouraging you to journal on your own time. Just a fantastic, well-rounded trip. Super fun, very intimate. There's only 11 of us and Michelle and I coming, so you'll get a lot of time to spend with me. So that's Italy. You have to do Italy. If you're going to do Italy, you might as well do it with me, right? So let's see. What's everybody? Yeah, everyone's got this cough. Okay, I'm almost happy to hear that because there's a part of me where I'm like, I'm dying. I might be dying now. It might be a little dramatic, but I think I'm like, and you know what? It's a pain in the ass type of dying. It needs to be quick. So anyway, am I wetting my pants during the cough? You know what? Occasionally, yes. That is truth. Occasionally, yes, and that's brought up a lot of other issues for me as far as, oh boy, oh, I just saw a thumbs up there. So am I being honest and saying that I earned a thumbs up by admitting that sometimes I wet my pants when I cough. And that's new. That has not happened to me before. So I've entered into that zone. TMI. Hey, we're all family here at the Monday Night Facebook Live. So let's see. February. Oh God. Oh my God. That's a good idea, Carolyn. I'm going to write this freaking cough on a lemon and I'm going to freeze it. I just heard from someone who's been tuning in. She shared with Michelle on Facebook, and Michelle shared the story with me that she found me. She lives in Staten Island. I don't know if she's tuning in tonight, but she did the lemon trick and it worked right away. I'm like, I'm telling you, the lemon trick is pretty cool. So maybe you're right. I need to totally put it in a lemon and then drink lemon and then down my throat and scrub this all out of my throat. I'm happy to hear that happens to you too, Karen. and Robin. Oh, Greg. Yeah, I didn't even tell Greg. I kept that to myself. So there you have it, Greg. This is take it or leave it. So something that's been coming up a lot lately as I transition now into a more serious talk and not peeing my pants. Something that I still, even after I'm doing what I do for 20 years, well, 18, 19 years, and I'm still amazed at how many people don't really understand how mediumship works. So I kind of want to go over that a little bit, even though I'm preaching to the choir here, but anyone who's tuning in, who's new, who has never seen a medium, this is like a public service announcement for your local mediums. Those of us who are really good and ethical and don't preach fear and crazy bullshit. This is for my fellow mediums and all of you. People come in and they really expect myself, and I'm assuming all other mediums, to know everything about them and everything about their lives. And they expect that we know everything we're talking about. And something that I've been telling everyone right before all my sessions is that I have to remind people, like, just remember, like, I have no idea who the freak your people are. I have never met them in the flesh. I have no idea who they are, how they respond, what your relationship was like with them. And people do almost feel like they have that expectation that I already know everything. And I'm assuming that's when anyone goes to a medium, and we don't. And I want to highlight this so strongly that we don't have a clue what we're talking about. We feel stuff, we hear stuff, we're aware of information, whether it comes through as actual words and messages, or we see things through pictures. Um, we feel with our body when they're saying yes or no, or it's a language in and of itself, and that we have to decipher. So when you go to a medium, one, don't expect them to know everything about you. Two, there's a little bit of work that has to be done on you, the receiver of the messages, end. A little bit. So I've been explaining this, and I've been using a lemon actually in my readings, but like if I see a lemon in one of my readings and I'm like, okay, what the hell is a lemon? I don't know, what the heck? And I say to the person that I'm sitting with, like, I don't know, they're showing me a lemon. The sitter has to just really quickly go through their memory. And then if they say, oh yeah, my grandfather, grew lemon groves in his backyards, I might say, oh my God, that's it. That's exactly what they're referring to. Or I might say, nope, that's not it. I don't think it's it. But just remember that when you go for a reading, you have to do a little bit of thinking, a little bit. And the more you say no right away, the more you're blocking messages. So and I don't want people to agree with me if they have no clue what I'm talking about. I definitely don't want that. But when I hear no, 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 that's not it, then I'm like, okay, all right, wait, hang on, what's happening here? So, as a public service announcement, on behalf of my fellow mediums who are good and ethical and do really good work in this world, and on behalf of all people who are sitting for a session, new or seasoned, just remember that it's a conversation that's happening. It's a dynamic that's happening. So, if you don't know the information, you can say like, I'm not getting that right now, or I'm not sure what that is. Instead of no, that's not it. Because that'll start shutting us down. I've done this for 19 years. I have overly proven to myself this ability to connect with people on the other side. And I still, 18 and a half years in, still get like, oh my God, what's wrong with me when I get no, and things don't make sense. So I know that happens to everyone. I'm certainly not saying I'm right 24/7. I'm not always right. You heard it here. But just in order to get a better reading for yourself, be a little bit more receptive. On the other side of that, if a medium is poking like all sorts of like really, really like generalized questions, and your bullshit meter is going off, pay attention to that. Listen to it. But all mediums get their information differently. I work one way, someone else might work another. So just if you've made it that far to have a session, try really hard not to come in with this like attitude and this energy of like, yeah, prove it to me, because it just adds more work to us. I'm all for having healthy skepticism. I say that all the time. I think it's very important. It's a psychological safety factor that I think everyone needs to have when they see anyone intuitive at all. Or anytime you're sitting with anybody, you have to have some healthy skepticism. That's even your physician. If your physician is saying something that really doesn't resonate with you, you have to listen to your gut. So that's with everything in life. You have to really tune into what feels right to you. So that's just a little public service announcement from your local Hudson Valley medium. Oh, that'll be my name, Hudson Valley medium. No, I don't want that name, so don't do it. Ugh, God, no, this is so bad. I'm sorry. Ugh, I don't like licorice. Does echinacea taste that bad? It said lemon. Oh my God. I don't think it's worth the throat coating, that's for sure. So what do you guys have on your minds tonight? What questions do you have? Tonight, I'm doing just regular generalized questions, and we'll see what develops from there. But anything popping up in your lives that you thought, oh, I'd like to ask Deborah that. Not specific questions about your life yet. I think I might do that at the end, though. I do. I think tonight for a New Year's celebration, We'll do some intuitive questions a little bit later on, so stay tuned. Don't forget to give thumbs up too. That's always helpful for algorithms and mathematical equations that mean nothing to me. So Marge, okay, let's see. Usually after any reading, you remember things. Yes, you have hit things on the blew me away. Yeah, afterwards, it is important. And many times I've gone for readings and I'm like, I didn't understand anything. And then I go back and I'm like, oh my God. So take your readings and your sessions in different sections. You're gonna get, what did you get out of it immediately? And then what do you get out of it within a month after? And then what do you get out of it a year after? So that's take it in sessions or sections of that. I think that's super important. Let's see. Nikki, you haven't been good the past few months. You're trying to turn things around with the new year. Good. Don't try to turn them around. Just know that they're turning around. And a lot of us, yep. See, Maria's saying, I understand. Hello, is it Tylena? That's a cool name. Hello, your first time here. That's exciting. Ooh, hold on. Sorry. Look, a squirrel. I'm on 4 different conversations. Okay. Lots of questions coming in. Okay. You've been good for the past few months, Nikki. Yeah, I think it's like that whole change of season, and it's like, it's freaking dark out at like, feels like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then all of a sudden you think it's 10 p.m. and you just want to go to bed. So Greg and I look at each other like it can't possibly be only 5:30 at night, because it's pitch black out. So I think that plays into a lot of this for sure. So you're definitely not alone, especially for all of us in the Northeast. We're kind of like just going into the winter, kind of hunkering down. Is we hunker down? I think it is hunker. Just felt weird to say it. But anyway, you're not alone, and the new year, just take it little baby steps at a time. So you're going to be good. Gigi is writing something that is like music to my ears. Gigi is saying to try sucking on dark chocolate. Don't chew it, just let it dissolve, and it'll take my cough away. Girl, I am certain I have some dark chocolate tucked away in this house somewhere, hidden for some magical human to have told me the thing that will heal me is dark chocolate. Not milk chocolate. Dark chocolate's fine. I'll take any kind of chocolate at any time. So I'm going to try that later because I'm certain I have some dark chocolate somewhere. It might be 4 months old or 4 years old even, but it's in there somewhere. Okay, let's see. Hello, Linda. Long time no see. I see you. I know who you are exactly. Does mental illness limit a person's intuitive abilities? There's a fine line here. There's a fine line to my mental illness and my intuition. There is a fine line. Mental illness, I would say, well, first off the bat, yes, absolutely. But there's a fine line. So some people, and obviously I'm not a clinician, I'm not a psychiatrist, I have no ability or have not been granted the authority to make any kind of like blanket statements about how people are diagnosed. But I do believe some people who are intuitive and are having some sort of connection with something on the other side, energy, information, might be confused with mental illness, but I think there's a very few. Mental illness, unfortunately, like the voices in your head, or if there's anything negative that's feeling way overwhelming, I would throw that into more of the category of mental illness versus receiving information. So I think it could go hand in hand, but it definitely will limit you because I am always, always, always more concerned about a human being who I'm reading's psychological well-being and spiritual well-being before anything else. So the way I say things, to whom I'm speaking to, it matters because psychologically you could get attacked almost by the words that anyone says, let alone a medium or an intuitive. So yes, it does limit a person's intuitive abilities because there's a fine line of knowing what's reality, what's not. There needs to be a lot, and I know you, Linda, you specifically, need a lot of grounding exercises. You need to have tangible, and you don't like it. I know you don't. Tangible, like, okay, I'm feeling the pen in my hand, and I'm feeling the feet underneath my ground. No, the ground underneath my feet. And I'm feeling the table and the really gross tea over here. So you in particular, but mostly people who like to fly all the way up here all the time, um, need grounding work. So that's what I would work on. Okay, I'm not taking another sip of that tea. Ooh, geez. Okay, Maria, this is a good question. You've never had a reading. However, you guess, whoops, hold on, sorry. I guess my thought would be, after you just saying that, is there a way to prepare? Would I not think about who I want to talk? Do certain people only come through? Every single session totally varies. This is a really good question. There's a certain level of being able to be prepared. And what I mean by that is pay attention to what your expectations of the sessions are. So if you are saying to yourself, and we all do this, myself included, I tell people not to do this and I do it. So it's normal and natural, but I'm aware of what my expectations are anytime I'm going into a session. So if you say to yourself, okay, if this person says X, Y, and Z, then I know it's real. But if she doesn't say, or he doesn't say X, Y, and Z, then I'm not sure. Just watch those thoughts that come through. Watch and notice the expectations that you do have, the things you're hoping come through, messages that are said to you, maybe apologies that you're looking for. Just notice your own personal expectations. You might want to write them down just so that you can manage them, because I have been to almost every single medium other than George Anderson. I've been to all of the big ones. Well, I haven't been to Tyler. That's not true. So I haven't been to Tyler, but I've been to a lot of mediums. Super, super well known, completely not well known, people on the boardwalk. I mean, I've been to everyone, or a lot. And not one of any of those people ever in all my life have ever brought up one of three things that I always request of my brother to come through with messages. I say to myself, oh, if he mentions one of these three things, which I have never repeated to a single soul, so nobody on the planet knows what I'm talking about, and none of them has said it. Doesn't mean my readings weren't good, but none of them have ever said it yet. So it's managing your expectations, I think, is the most helpful thing you could do for yourself. And it also helps you be able to listen more, because if you want me to say X, Y, and Z, if I'm saying this over here first, you're not listening. People aren't paying attention because they're like, oh, I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Or if, I'm talking to your grandmother, but you're really hoping for your dad to show up, or vice versa. So there's a little bit of relaxation that needs to come through in that regard, but also managing expectations. Some people write down who they want to hear from. You could do that, but again, it manages the expectations of who you think is going to come through first, who's not going to come through, because every single session is very, 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 very different. So manage your expectations. After that, I mean, the first time you sit with any intuitive, you're not really going to know what to expect. So the first time I sit with someone, I leave very little room, mostly, for questions. I usually leave maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes at the end for questions. And usually people are like, I don't even know what to ask. And if that happens, I just keep giving messages. But the more I see people, the more, fifth session in over 5 years, 10 sessions over 10 years, I see people coming in with like a list, like, okay, Deborah, we need to talk about this, 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 and this today. Or usually I can feel it, but they've got the list there. So it changes, it transforms with every single session you have, and every single medium is different. We all work differently. So just get a sense of how the person you're about to sit with works. That's why I always like word of mouth. So if someone has had a good experience with someone, that gives you extra feeling of like, okay, let me see what this is about. So do certain people only come through? Literally, it will vary. I mean, I see some people and both parents have passed, but the 1 year only mom will show up. And then the following year they'll come back and only dad will talk, or neither will talk, and it'll be grandpa, or, you never know. You just never know who's going to show up. I do always offer that ability I'll ask about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes into a session, am I leaving anyone out? And I do that because I want to make sure that I give the people sitting with me the opportunity to at least let me try to connect with people, even if I'm not picking up on them in the first, like my scan of who they are. So if I'm picking up on, say, okay, your mom's here, your grandfather's here, but your brother's also passed and I didn't pick up on them, when I ask, okay, am I leaving someone out? That's a good opportunity to say, I was really hoping for my brother. Or could you see if you can get this person? I always ask for their first name now. I never used to do that. I always do now. I ask for their first name and then I just plug into their first name. And if for some reason, as soon as I hear someone's first name or read someone's first name, I can go right into their energy field. So that helps me, that assists me. Some mediums will never ask for a first name. Some will. I do. So it really, really varies. It really, really varies. So get a sense of your expectations, see who you want to come through, but then don't shut down. Like sometimes people are like, oh no, you know, when I say, oh, your dad's with so-and-so, and then they're like, oh no, but they didn't know each other here. That one drives me crazy, actually. Don't ever say that to a medium. If, say, like, both your father and father-in-law are passed, right? But say you met your husband after your father has passed. So your dad and your father-in-law never met here in life. When I say, like, oh yeah, your dad and your father-in-law are together, people are like, no, they didn't know each other in here. I want to choke you, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm like, they do now. They know each other now. Because whoever we're connected with here in life, we're going to be connected with on the other side. So don't say that one ever. Even if it's like you have two best friends and they never met. It doesn't matter who they are. You're the common denominator. If you knew someone and you're connected to someone, their people are connected to you. Sorry, did I slurp? Okay, let's see. Hey, Dorothy, how are you? Hey, Pam. Hey, Dan, Diane. Ooh, 1 tablespoon. Ooh, apple cider vinegar. That's rough. Okay. Honey, cinnamon, and lemon juice. Nasty, but works. You drink it? Yes, hot tea. Okay. All right. I think we have all those ingredients. I'm pretty sure. I know we have honey, cinnamon, and lemon juice. Ooh, okay. I really can't do this. This is like liquid licorice. Okay. Laura, you said you have gone to other mediums. Can you bring through someone for yourself? Technically, yes, I can. I have a fan blowing on me because I'm like sweating, but now I'm cold. Technically, yes, but like everyone else, it's definitely different reading and pulling someone through for yourself than doing it for someone else. I personally think it's way easier to bring through messages from someone I don't know at all, because my logical mind does not get engaged in the process of connecting. So what do I mean by that? I don't all of a sudden think like, oh, I already knew this, or, oh, you're making this up, because I don't know anything about the person sitting in front of me. So I know I'm not making it up, because to me, mediumship feels very, very similar to what our imagination feels like. Like if I dream up of a castle on the shores of Ireland, I can see that in my mind. I can feel it. I can imagine it. It comes through the same way to me. So when I'm bringing through my own people, I feel like I'm making it up, just like all of us do. So even though I know better, I still have that moment of like, oh, maybe I'm just making that up. So I like to go, but I don't, thank goodness, I don't currently have a need to really, really connect with someone on the other side. Thank God. So that also helps for me. I haven't had anyone, I shouldn't say significant, because my God, my aunts have all passed, and my grandparents, and my brother has passed, cousins have passed, but I mean, somebody super, super relevant to my daily life, thank goodness, has not passed. So I don't have that need, but unfortunately someday I probably will. And then we'll see what happens. Okay. Oh, you have a reading on Thursday. You've been trying to get an appointment for 3 years. Woohoo! It's time. That means it is time. So I will meet you then. Have we met before, Susan? I know that I see the name on here all the time, but have we met formally before? Nikki, yeah, actually, Nikki, you're always very good in a reading. You do always have it, let it flow, and it does flow for you. I do know that of you. Let's see. Oh my God, my cousin. Margie, that is not a coincidence that I just mentioned my aunts have passed, because your mom, my aunt, was the first one to pop into my head of that. So that is not a coincidence. I don't normally talk about them. So your mom didn't even see you on here. So that is definitely a little wink right over there from my aunt, your mother. And you lost a pet. Oh, that's the worst. Margie, just type in what the name is, the pet's name. Jack is asking if there's dinner downstairs. Did George Anderson write "We Don't Die"? You know what? I'm not sure. That's not familiar, but I can't say for sure. No, he wrote something to heaven. Oh my God, Stairway to Heaven? No, I'm just kidding. Something to Heaven. He's written a couple books. I've never been to him personally, but I hear good things about him. Let's see. Why would a medium describe a person in two different ways? She told me my ex cheated on me, but then, hold on, ascribed? Oh, described. Hold on. Do you have more there, Amanda? Let me just scroll down. No. Well, here's the thing. I always describe the person who's passed to the person who's sitting in front of me in the way that the person in front of me knew them. So say I get siblings, right? And I sit with a sister one day, and then the next month I sit with the other sister. I can be reading the same exact man, the same exact father, but he could come through two different ways because it's based on the relationship they had. So if one was like daddy's little girl and the other one couldn't stand him, that'll all come through. That'll all be felt. So that's one thing that I would say that's why you would bring the same person through differently. It depends on how you know them. And I'm not sure. She told me my ex cheated on me, but then I don't like when I won't even answer the question if people ask like, did they cheat on me? Because there's so many variables and factors. So that's a slippery slope, and I don't know that mediums or intuitives should ever add gas to a fire or a potential fire. So that's a tough one. It's not to say that I haven't ever told somebody that, but that's like dangerous terrain sometimes, in my opinion. Let's see. You wish each of them knew about your book. How can we help them? Hold on. Where'd you write the rest of that? Let's see. Dorothy, what it says, I wish each of them knew about your book. How can we help them? I'm not sure who you mean by I wish each of them. So clarify that below. Carolyn, and let's see. I thought I saw my cousin write back a name, but hold on. There's so many messages popping up here. Do you feel someone who needs to hear from someone will be more apt to have them come through, more so than someone who's okay with a passing? Great question. Totally depends. It totally depends. I don't think there's like a blanket statement. Sometimes when someone is needing desperately, actually sometimes I've had the feeling of like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to hit it on the head. I'm not going to get it right. And you can feel I can feel their expectation and their need. And that as a human being kind of throws me. So I have to I always say that's when I have to go all full Deborah, and I have to, just ignore my own apprehension. Because my thing when I'm sitting with someone, the minute I sit down with them, I'm starting to pray already. Like, all right, come through loud and clear, prove it to me again, show me again, because I want to hit the nail on the head and hit a home run for everyone who sits in front of me. And I definitely don't. Oh my God, I almost knocked over the fan. I don't do that for everybody. I hope I do it for most people that sit with me. But then there's some people that are very skeptical, and that energy transfers difficult. It's a difficult transfer for me because I'm like, I just want people to say, all right, trust me. I'm not gonna throw some bullshit out your way, but I just need you to kind of breathe through it. Because the skeptics that come to me that are like, you're crap, piss me off. I've been doing it way too long. And I definitely, my ego gets involved and it's not supposed to. I know better, but I don't always do better. So hard to really totally answer that one. See, everybody's saying to read my book. That's so great. Oh, hello, Shanali. How are you? Good to see your name on here. Hello from Goshen. Thank you, Regina. Good to see you here. No, we've never met, Susan. So then on Thursday. Oh, there's my cousin. Okay, Roxy. I called her my miss. Your dog had a southern accent. Okay, I know I'm weird. No, we're just family. We have the same DNA. Greg, this is Margie that we sat with at my sister's wedding, at Lauren's wedding. This is that cousin, just in case you're wondering, like, what cousin is this? I don't really pull in animals, but was she a little one, like a little like white poofy one or something? My cousin lives in Las Vegas, you guys too, so we don't get to see each other very often. The last time was at my sister's wedding. So, if the little one, I have no doubt that your mother, my aunt, the most adorable human ever on the planet, 100% is taking care of it, this little one, and so is. I don't think it's Aunt Una. It might be your husband's mom or your husband's aunt, because there's another female that pops up that's coming up with your little one, your dog. Okay. Hey, Carol, read above. Hold on. Dorothy wrote read above. I don't see it, but I think my stuff is out of order. I send the link all the time. Okay, let's see. Molly's mom, you switched over from Facebook. Hello, if you're in Walk Hill. Do your kids go to Walk Hill schools? Because that's where mine go. I probably shouldn't announce that. Okay, Crazy Boss Mama. That's a cool name. I'm semi-new to your channel. I've finally gotten used to being intuitive amongst close family and friends, but how can I better identify the placement of those who come to me from the other planes? The placement, I'm assuming you mean like how they were related to them. That's how I'm reading that question when you say identify the placement. I always like to visualize in my head a family tree. And in my mind's eye, the person sitting in front of me is in the center of the family tree. And then from there, I go father, mother side, and grandparents and great-grandparents, and then aunts and uncles and kids and grandkids. So I set it up in my mind's eye to help me be able to kind of get a sense of how this person was related. Like I just said to my cousin Margie, there's another female. I see a female in a mom spot. So that's usually mom, mother-in-law, or aunt. And in this case, I know my cousin's other aunt, which is my other aunt, or my cousin's aunt, and it's not her. So I would have to assume that it's her mother-in-law or an aunt or sister to her mother-in-law. So it's that's how I visualize it. I'm trying to answer your question and read other questions at the same time. My mind is getting totally split. Carolyn, I saw that someone was getting that for you, and I was so excited for you. So I wasn't going to say anything until, obviously I didn't know if you got it yet. So I was so excited for you when I saw that come through, that someone said it was for you. So that's exciting. So yeah, you're going to be fine when you come in. And thank you, Dorothy, that you send the link to people all the time. Let's see. Oh, hello, Janine. How are you? Good to see you. Margie, I hope that makes sense to you. You totally need that. It's so crazy that I was seeing my aunt, but it's not crazy because this is what I do. Hey, Kieran, how are you? Oh, my God. Your mom surprised you with a session with you. Oh, my God. When is your session, Kieran? 2 graduated from Walk Hill and a 6th grader. Hi from Walker Valley. Hello, Sandra. Good to see you here. Let's see. Once in a while, you get what you consider drifters. So do I. You can't really help those. You just have to figure out, and you could just call them that. Say, I don't know where this person belongs, but this is what they're saying. This is what they feel like. And you see if that makes sense. Okay, your Aunt Peggy, your mom and she were really close. Aw. They're like doing a tag team. Okay, so I'm going to transition to intuitive questions. This is my Happy New Year gift to all of you. So it's not mediumship because there's so many of you on here that I will cross my wires. And I know a lot of mediums do mediumship this way. I'm just still not comfortable with it yet. Maybe one day I'll dip my toe into that water. But intuitive questions pertain to more about the here and now. Um, or future. You can ask about medical intuition, just bringing some insight into people. You could give me a first and middle name. And let me know if this is a child, like if you're giving me the first and middle name, a child or a parent, but only names for people who are physically living. So I don't do mediumship here. Hello, Laura. Thank you. Coming from Newtown, Connecticut. Let's see. Let's see. Diane, your husband, and when you ask a question about someone else, include their name. So like if you're talking about my husband, in your case, Diane, I'm assuming it's Dan because that's your name there. Just like if you're asking a question about someone else, give me their first name, no last names at all on this, please. So your husband wants to know when he'll retire. I feel like that's half in jest. That it's not really like, I mean, of course we all want to know that, but I feel like it's half in jest, like, yeah, when am I going to retire? And I don't think it's anytime soon. If 12 years, I mean, it feels like it's way off in the distance here. So I almost think it's partly in jest going on here. Okay, Melanie, in your reading, you said you're selling your house. So weighing makes the only reason why I do this. Can you tell me more about what you see with this? By the way, Facebook, I only answer questions for those of you who are tuning in on YouTube because I'm not going to go back and forth. So come over to YouTube if you want to participate to ask a specific intuitive question. Let's see. I still think you are in that time frame, 6 years, Melanie, and I don't think you are going to say, well, there's only one reason I would do this. Like if so-and-so passes, that's why. So whatever your reasons why you think you would sell, like you're saying, there's only one reason is not going to be the reason why you sell. So don't freak yourself out about that. But I do still feel that it's the same time frame that I said earlier. Kieran, February 3rd. Perfect. Then I'll see you then. Michelle, where are you getting I was going to say shoulder surgery, but surgery. Where are you getting surgery? I think you already know it's okay. And I feel like this is either the third procedure or the third time, or I get the number 3 here. So I don't know if that's 3 surgeons or whatever. I don't think that means you have to have this particular one done this time and 2 more times. It feels like it's a series of 3. Let's see. Will my father's current health issue become a chronic situation? His name is Alan. I think it already is chronic. I don't know that they would call it chronic. So I don't know what I mean by that, but I think it already is in the category of chronic. So maybe just to him, it's been like very, very long, or it's been dormant still in him, but dormant, kind of like when you're pre-diabetic. I don't think that's what we're talking about here, but when you're pre-diabetic and then you become diabetic, it's like it's been kind of laying low. But I actually think, I feel like a switch went off in his head where he's absolutely taking this seriously finally. So that part feels good, that he's like forced to go, okay, I got to make a couple changes. I don't think he's going to, do a 180 here and do everything he needs to do, but I think he's going to make a very big, like, whoa, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. All right, Marge, let's see. Help with Jessica. Tell me, be a little bit more specific about that question, Marge. Help with Jessica. She's child. What specifically do you mean? Peter, will Peter be healed? My husband. Laura, has this been going on for 9 months? Whatever's going on with him, answer that for me if it's been going on for 9 months. All right. Thinking of moving closer, Gigi. Thinking of moving closer to my daughter who's expecting triplets to help out. Looking for insight. Oh my God, run away. Are you kidding me? Triplets. Holy crap. That's exciting. Exciting and whoa, that's overwhelming. I think you're going to like part-time move there quick, like for a 3-month stint or for a certain amount of stints. So I don't think you're going to actually physically move, but I do think you're going to have an extended stay there first. Maybe it's 3 weeks. I'm just seeing the number 3 again for you, which is different than I was seeing for the other person. But I think that I think you're going to be there a certain amount of time, and that's going to give you more clarity as to what is really going to happen. But I don't think you will both know this, you and your daughter-in-law, your daughter, um, until about 4 months. So I don't know if she really knows what the plan is that she's doing. So I wouldn't move just yet, is what I'm saying. And I don't know that you will move anytime in like the next 8 months or within the first 8 months of them being born. I think you'll be back and forth, but an extended stay. Okay. Why are you not meeting anyone? Miss Donna Wallace. Let's see. Well, first of all, you're always traveling. What the hell? You're a stewardess. You're never home. You're literally in the sky all the time. So give it time. I would not be totally surprised if you do meet someone in the air, one of your customers. And I know your company might frown upon that, but fate is fate, and you can't help that. So I actually think he's going to be very almost like cowboy boots, like rustic or cowboy type. So hang in there. You will, girly. You will. Maria, your daughter be okay with her daily struggle? If she's not getting additional internal help, hold on, there's a couple of things. I feel like you also wanted to ask 2 other questions or 2 questions pertaining to her, just as I'm tuning into your energy field. So Maria, if you feel like you asked the wrong question or you asked the question wrong, don't worry about it, because I do feel like there's like you're going, oh my God, I should have asked it this way, or I should have said this. But I think there's additional, like she needs extra help. I don't know if that means a therapist or internal, and even if it like her struggles that you're talking about are physical struggles, I don't even care about those. I feel like the emotional internal struggle is what she needs help with. And it's not something you can do or friends can do. I feel like she needs like an actual outsider, either life coach or professional therapist or mentor of some sort, because she's a little bit like stubborn, and her heels are dug in on what she thinks and believes about herself and her world and her life, and no one's going to tell her otherwise. But if she had an objective outside person, she might go like, maybe I'll listen to them. Somebody she needs to look up to or something like that will help her. But I feel like if she's trying to do this on her own, or if you're trying to be that bridge for her, you can't be, because she's too stubborn, and that mother-daughter relationship is going to pop up. So good luck. Caitlin, I just love your logo and your art. I've been seeing your art on Facebook. It's amazing. Do I see you having children in the future? I know your dog, which is the cutest thing. I think you should do an Instagram page just for your dog and his like literal smiles. I've never seen a dog smile like yours. I think right now I see 2, but I know you consider your dogs your children. So I don't know if that's two like dog babies, or if it's like your dog and then 1 baby, but I see 2 energies with you. But I normally am quite clear with people. Like I don't normally consider people's animals their babies, but I know you a little bit more, so that's what's throwing me off about that. Okay, Carol, Carol, that you're actually, I'm surprised you even asked the question publicly, which is pretty cool, because you're very private. Oh, great. One moment, please, while I choke. You're very private, so I'm proud of you for just even going that extra distance. You're also very particular. There's an internal, like, almost impossible perfectionist in you. But there's a part of you that then thinks like, no, I'm just a disaster. I'm a mess. Like if you have a mess over here, you think you're a mess everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So there's this incredible perfectionist. There's nothing you do is ever good enough or right enough or this enough. Nothing. It's not enough. But I also feel like you're a good. It's like you're a good receiver. What does that mean? I do feel like you're like super gracious when people do help you, and I feel like you don't know how to like even thank them in return. So get this, like, really just embrace the receiving aspect of things. If people give you something or help you out with something, it's because they like you and they want to. So just allow it instead of thinking like, "Oh my God, I don't know how to thank them enough." And I don't think you feel like you owe them. I just think like you just have to say thank you very graciously. Christina, it's always good to go back to school. Always, always, always. I just answered an intuitive question not too long ago about somebody who was asking about whether they should leave school. No one ever graduates college or their master's or any degree or certificate or professional development and says, "Damn, I wish I didn't do that." So anytime school isn't just about the degree, it's about the process getting there. It's about the accomplishment, it's the end result. And I think you're 100% right for going back to school. I think the timing seems really, really bad. But it's the timing right now seems bad. But when you're finished, the timing is like beyond perfect. So just hang in there. But you made the absolute right choice, even though it wasn't logical. It's like it makes no sense. Your house is worth more because it's in Beacon. Will I find another great smaller place to live soon? I have a friend who's selling her house in Beacon. I do. My friend Carol just posted it. And it is the most adorable, pretty house. It would be perfect for you and Tony, Shelly. So message me. Message me on that, because when my friend posted it, she's selling it herself. When she posted it, I was like, I think I'm going to help her find the buyer of that. So write to me on Facebook. When will I meet the love of my life to do all my bidding? Kieran, darling, you have school to deal with, but I think you'll probably be, I think it'll be more like, it's either 3 years or your third year of college. So if I remember correctly, you're in your second year of college now. So I actually think it's more in 3 years. So that means that it would be the year after you end college, or you might meet her in your junior year, and then you might actually not start to go out with this person until after you graduate. And Karen, are you doing like a 5-year degree? Like you're going to do a master's and bachelor's in one? Because I feel like you're doing some sort of accelerated something program. So let me know about that, and then we can go further in your session in February. Okay, I have a child going through a tough time and I'm concerned. Will Caroline come through this in a positive way? Oh, isn't it awful with our children? Oh my God. We're always so worried. That's the part of motherhood I really hate. Like it's always like one of them that we're like freaking out, like, oh, but I don't know about this, I don't know about that. Caroline is sensitive, but she is very strong. And once she finds her voice, and I feel like my teeth is like this, like I'm biting down. I feel like once she gets her grit, she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. But she's got to find that grit within herself. I do think there's like a teacher or another. I'm pretty sure it's a teacher. I don't think it's a therapist. I think there's a teacher who is very plugged into her, very or maybe it's a teacher's aide, a one-on-one. It's somebody who's close to her. I do feel like they're with her daily. That's why I say teacher. Who's very plugged in and is very, very, very much into like what's going on. So I don't think you're alone at all on this, Nikki. So that's the good news. But I do think it'll take about 4, maybe even 5 years for this to kind of mature out. So it's not a quick fix. That does not mean that you're gonna have 4 or 5 years of like a torturous, sick feeling in your stomach as a parent. But it does feel like it's part of her like growth as well involved in this. Robin, do I see Larry getting another job and resigning, going from the state? I think some sort of decision will be made about this in his mind, not at work. I think internally in March of this year. And I think he's gonna like feel it out. He's very cautious, so I feel like even though he knows he'll like get the other job, and even though he knows the path, I think he's still like, oh, why would I rock the boat? I think he absolutely should resign and go on to the next thing. But I think he's still going to be a little bit freaked out and cautious, overly cautious. But could he and should he? I think yes, he should. But will he? That's still TBD, to be determined. I think in March he'll have a lot more clarity on that. Regina, you've been on a few interviews. Is there a new job coming in my future? I feel like you always like get the, like, not the job of your dreams, but I always feel like you get, like, you're a good speaker. Like you nail it. I don't know. I feel like you just nail it. So I think 3 interviews or the third job that you go out for is the one. Do I see you leaving your current job to go after your dream private business? I think someone else is going to try to talk you out of it, and I don't think it's a spouse. I almost think it's like a either a good friend or someone's kind of delaying you on that, kind of encouraging you to push it off a little bit. And I actually I don't disagree with this person. I think the um like the dot your I's, cross your T's type of thing, even though you're very meticulous, Carolyn, and very much like order processed person, I do feel like it's not all quite settled, which is funny because normally I tell people like just jump and the net will appear. And I just think for your sake, things have to be very, very much like timed properly, unless your business is like a seasonal thing. Maybe that's why I'm seeing it kind of delayed. So I think you should go after it, but not quite yet. I think there's the timing. And it, like, to me, it feels like it shifts with seasons. I don't mean from winter to spring either. So I almost think like next May, like May of 2021 is where it feels a little bit better. Next year, it starts to come into fruition because I don't really feel like it's coming anytime soon. And yet I applaud you for taking this big plunge because I do feel like that's very much out of character for you to take a big plunge. So don't read um, the time delay as, oh my God, I'm not going to succeed. I think the time delay is necessary for you to get all your ducks in a row to feel secure because I don't think you're just going to throw caution to the wind. So that's being a little bit more clear. Okay, you're in a new relationship after a really, really, really rocky long-term one, wondering if he is what he seems to be. Can you give me his first name? And if you don't want to share his first name, just the first letter of his name. So, and I would say go slow. And you don't want to jump from one relationship to the next. It very rarely works out. I don't say never works out. Because look at Greg and I. We're working out. But you need some time in between, especially if it was a very rocky long-term relationship before. My gut first says he's okay, but you have to slow this down, this whole thing. Like don't put all your eggs in a basket. And I always say you don't really know somebody until about a year in. That's when everybody's real side shows up. So everyone slow down in a relationship world. Everybody, especially females, want to know like, oh my God, is he the one? And just enjoy the time that you're with the person and the growth that you're getting. So I think if you rush it, no, but if you let this last like 4 years of a really, really long like courtship, whoever uses that term anymore, I don't know. But I just did. Then you'll be able to see. So 4 years sounds like forever, but people say, what do you mean? I don't want to waste time. But if you're going to wind up being together forever, 4 years you're going to be together 4 years one way or the other. So just slow it down. Should my husband Rick retire, continue working? I hear instantly continue working, and it's not because of money. It feels like he needs to be busy. He needs to keep at it, and unless he has some other project or plans, he'll drive himself crazy. So he feels very productive, like he constantly needs to be productive. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to tell everyone to stop submitting questions because I'm going to start wrapping up soon. So I'm going to try to answer out. Oh my God, I lost my place. I'm going to try to answer the rest of these questions. I lost my place. Okay, and I'm only going to answer questions to people who asked one. So I'm not going to keep answering the same people multiple questions. That way I can get to more of you. So will my daughter Alicia have more children? If she has 3, then no. But if she does not have 3, I do think she'll have 3. Maria, new house. I feel like it's in your brain. It's more of a thought form still. It's more like, oh, I wish I could, or maybe I will. So it's in thought form. And I think it's going to take until about May, maybe June for you to actually think this through and then your plans. And I don't think it's going to happen this year though. In your future, I don't even know if it's going to be a house, believe it or not. And I think you're going to go like, no, I'm not going to go to a condo or townhome. But I do think you'll have some other kind of where it's not as all on you, the work. So I do think it's some sort of like condo or townhouse or small place. Does anyone know if it's safe to burn sage on terracotta saucers? That I don't know. Although sage gets rid of all bacteria, so I should be totally burning sage around here. Okay, let's see. First time on your hand, Michelle. Oh my gosh, I'm going back to you now. So first time. So I think there's gonna be three doctors or three parts to this surgery. And I do think actually your shoulder's gonna hurt so much afterwards. And I don't know why. So I don't mean you're gonna need shoulder surgery, but when I was first tuning into you, I feel like right here. But you're going to be more than fine. More than fine. Oh, Susan, let's go into that one a little bit more deeply when I see you on Thursday. Just remind me of that question. That way I'll get a full thing because that's a heavy question right there. So and knowing that you're coming on Thursday, we're going to go deeper into that. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, Laura, much longer than that. So yeah, I think your husband was asking like kind of like tongue in cheek. Can you see anyone from a past who's crossed over? I only do the intuitive questions in this format. Let's see. Oh, Grace, will my daughter's lupus remain under control with current meds or will it get worse? I do think it's going to go through it it almost feels like the medication starts to build a resistance. That's my word. It's not literally the exact translation I get. It's sort of like hinged. You should really talk to Nicole in your ETA group about healing lupus through her diet because she literally did that. So I know that's a big lifestyle change, but Nicole did that unbelievably. So talk to her. But I see like there's going to be a change in medications. I don't think for a while. I mean, I think 3 to 5 years. So right now it feels pretty consistent. Will my father, Marty, Melanie, will he continue to have health problems? All in all, I think he's actually strong stock. So I think like his major organs are together. I don't know if he has chest or lung, like heart or lung issues. I just get heavy breathing with him, like belabored breathing. So there might be something going on in there. But I think for the most part, he's like really strong and sturdy. Let's see. Carol, do I see you moving in the next 2 years? I'm not sure. Can you? Yes. Will you? I hear yes. It might not be exactly 2 years. So it might be the time frame that I'm getting thrown off of. So definitely between 2 and 3. And I don't feel it's because you have to move, like you can't handle the house anymore. It feels like I don't want to handle the house anymore, but it's still a little bit to be determined. And I think you'll be much more clear. I think it'll be much more clear in 2 years, not necessarily selling the house in 2 years. Let's see. Should you move from your vintage house? Osteoarthritis. Linda, I think that's a lot of diet too. I think your diet's aggravating stuff and medications might be aggravating the bone stuff. So that I would look into like more holistic person who I don't know where you live now. I think last I knew you moved far away. But I don't see you moving from your house. So I know you're asking if you should. I don't see that really in the cards right now, so I wouldn't do it. Asking for my wife, Melissa. We started a business venture. Do you see it going anywhere positive? I actually do. I get a lot of like, you know what I feel like? I feel like there's like, and I know new business, we get like gung ho, but I feel like either she or you, I don't know which one it is, has like so many ideas and is ready to run and take the ball with all of them. So and it's like, I don't feel like she's committed, to only one way for the business. I feel like it's like, oh, we can go in 8 different directions, which a business coach would probably tell you not to do that, but I'm not a business coach. So I feel like it's one business, but it's got like, we're going to be over here. We're going to do this. We're going to have this. We're going to have, I feel like there's 8 different spokes or aspects to the business. So that's what I think is going to be positive about it. Dorothy, yes, absolutely. Believe it or not, work promotion coming to me soon. Yes, I feel like it's overdue. I'm sure you think it's overdue, but I literally think like timing wise, like in your department, it's overdue. So it's just like a matter of time. I see the clock ticking. Let's see. Sandra, that's more mediumship, but they're, even though we don't feel them around, that doesn't mean that they're not there. So don't confuse not feeling them for them not being there. Our grief, a lot of times we just don't feel them, and I don't feel my people a lot of times. So just because I want to connect with someone, doesn't mean I will. Like the people that are closest to me. Earlier, like I felt my aunt, but that was because my cousin, her daughter, was here, so I could feel my aunt better for her than I could for myself. So don't worry, she totally is there. Shirley, I feel like you need more I almost feel like grounding or something, more roots. So you're asking if you should move soon. So I feel like there needs to be some sort of development of roots. So if you've been in the house that you've been in for a long time, I still feel like you're not settled there, which seems weird, right? So I don't think the issue for you is really about moving as much as it is like having your inside self feeling settled. Ooh, boy, I'm looking for my full sister. Can you get a feeling where she is? Ooh, that one might be even mediumship. That might be beyond the scope of what I can tune into. If you happen to know her first name, you can give it to me, Jay. But I don't know if I'd be able to answer that. Andrea, don't settle. Don't settle for anything less. Don't allow a spouse to tell you that they're not going to pay. I do think it's going to be a grind, and I think you're up for it, but it's certainly not easy, as all single moms, we all know. But I think you'll find that grit in you and that like grind in you. So, but don't say like, oh, because I could do it on my own, that means so and so doesn't have to pay me, because he does. So make sure you don't settle. Let's see. Miss Spa. Let's see. I want to know about my stomach issues. The pain is constant in the GI. I don't know what's causing it. Can you help me? Telling me what's the cause. Will I get a new job by February? I don't know about the new job thing by February, so I don't think that. Pain. I don't even think it's diet related, which is silly because it's stomach and GI. I think on a metaphysical level, it's a big deal with self-esteem. This is a metaphysical uh, cause for it. Big thing with self-esteem, either you overinflate yourself or you don't feel like you're good enough. You like go between one or the other. And overinflate means like, I could do that job in the back of my hand and I'm great at this. Or like, oh my God, I'm not good enough for this relationship. So I feel like you flip flop back and forth. So that's more the metaphysical or emotional cause behind the stomach stuff. But I don't know. I do think that if you haven't been to the doctor, you definitely should go there, because I do think I want to use the word block there. I don't think mass or tumor or anything like that, but it does feel like a block, but I don't know what's causing it on a physical level. On an emotional level, I do think you have, like I said, a lot of self-esteem stuff going on that needs to be addressed. And it's not bad self-esteem stuff. It just needs to be balanced out, because it's not bad to think highly of ourselves, but the flip happens. You go from one extreme to the other. Let's see. Hello, James. Hello, Maria. Okay, good. Let's see. I saw that post, James. You just have to get bold and put your artwork out there and just keep doing it. So I saw the post that you said you're going to be in this new venue that people are going to. I think that's going to get the fire behind you and the ball rolling, so that you what do you call it? Yeah, so that you get the momentum behind you. So I think that'll be huge. Let's see. Yep, Pam, I do. Not anytime soon. She's touch and go. So let's see. I hope I'm not confusing her with your daughter. Daughter-in-law is wanting to get pregnant. Do you see that happening in the future? Has she been trying for 3 years? I still think 3 years. So it's not immediate. It doesn't feel immediate. Okay, Zach. He just started in September. Um, he's probably like all kids, like having like a weird first semester, right? As far as emotionally, Bonnie. So I feel like spring will do a little bit better, but he might actually wind up changing. But he's not like flunking out or failing. I just feel like he's like, I don't know about it here. So I don't think he's anything. I wouldn't let him like come back home or like go closer. If he's gonna make a change and he is away, I wouldn't have him come closer. Or I wouldn't have him change to a college that's like not comparable to where he is now. So even if he is staying home now, I wouldn't have him switch to something that's not the same or comparable. Oh, Kimberly, that's rough. Desperately to find out why my father would just stop speaking to me. It's been many years now. I'm seeing like one of five, so I don't know if you're a sibling of five or he's a sibling of five, like he has 5 siblings or you have 5 siblings. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I think it's a much bigger picture. It's not a quick answer. But something to do with 5 or the 5 people or one of 5. And I'm not clear on that. Beth, yes, you will be back to work. Maybe September-ish time frame, not tight. And I don't think you're gonna go back right away after this is over for you, where you have to where you don't have to do that anymore. I feel like you're gonna take like a month or 2 kind of as a step back, which I think you should. And I'm not sure what kind of work, but not healthcare, not caring in the same capacity that you're doing now, because I think you're gonna get totally burnt out. I think you're happy doing it right now, or happy in quotes, but I don't think that's the life's work for you. So I almost feel like it's like should be the opposite. Like you work with little kids with lots of crazy energy and that sort of thing. All right. Oh my God, I lost my place again. Da, 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 da. Shirley bought a car that I told you to. You love it? Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, I found it. Let's see. Cassie, do I see your son getting into his top choice college? I think he's going to get his top 3, actually, Cassie. So I think he is going to get into his top 3. And Amanda, I do think, I think you're on a roll, actually. I see like you like running, like roll, running like in a good way. You're on a roll, but it's now time to take it to the next level. Either get a financial planner or just open up like a CD or another account that takes this whole thing to next level. I think you're going to be totally different from the rest of your family too. So I think there was financial instability in your past life. I don't know if that's your parents or their parents, but that's not your story because you're changing the script. So that's totally cool. Let's see. Should I be concerned? Oh, hey, Carolee. With our upcoming move to a new state? Nope, you shouldn't be at all. Definitely, it will be sad feelings leaving and all of that normal stuff, but I think the new place will be like way better from it. Feels almost slower. Where you're gonna go feels like slower for him, so that's a good thing. It's like he's like quick, and where he goes, it's like time is slowed down. So I think that's gonna wind up being good. Give it about 4 months in the new environment. And he's definitely going to miss his friends for sure, but you have ways to keep in touch with them. So big picture, he'll work out just fine. I feel good about going back to school. Let's see, I'm going through. Samantha, will he come back to you? I don't think so. I don't think he will. It's funny. The more we separate our energy from someone, the more we can actually pull him or better in your life. So I would try to keep him over there and just totally ignore his energy completely, because I don't think so. Stacy, let's see. Happy New Year, Deb. Do you find me happiness in my new home? It'll take a while, Stacy. I mean, a while. Like, I feel like I've seen your name recently, so I probably did. It's gonna take a while. It's not. It doesn't. When I say it doesn't feel smooth, the move itself feels smooth. The timing feels smooth. It just feels like everyone's like totally out of sorts. So either you're moving like to a totally different environment, or like from like New York to California or New York to the South, you know what I mean? Like where it's very, very different places. So it's not like New York to New Jersey, is I guess what I'm saying. So it just feels like you're going to be out of sorts. But I think in the big picture, you're going to definitely be totally like, good, calm. Kind of like what Carolee was asking. It feels like everything's going to be slow. And Samantha, I wouldn't take Jess back. Now that I have the name. Nope, just move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. Annie, hello, how are you? Do I ever see your son's apprenticeship program? Oof. One of my sons have been trying to get into an apprenticeship program, and it's been frustratingly slow process. Do you see this ever? It'll come to fruition, but definitely not the time frame. I know it's obviously slow, but even if they say, hey, and we're 4 more months, like double it. So whatever the time they're telling you, double that time. If they're telling you 9 months, it's 18 months. So just double the time frame to him, and then that'll help him. Okay. My friend from many years ago passed. We never got to clear. That's hard, Camille, only because that's mediumship, so I don't do mediumship in this forum. Okay, let's see. Carolyn, taking time to lay it out. The timing thing works good. Feeling sort of stuck in your life. Where to live? Definitely not the Northeast, Rita. I think there's too much going on in your life, Rita. So if there's so much swirling energy going around you. So I would not make any decisions on like where to live. I think you've got to sort out all sorts of it's like a minefield in your body, mind, and spirit. That's not a bad thing. We all get to that point. But I feel like you can't turn left, you can't turn right because nothing makes sense right now. So it feels very cluttered and I can't see like the forest through the trees type of thing. So there needs to be a lot of grounding work, a lot of meditation, a lot of honesty about where you're at emotionally with yourself. So if you're like feeling sad and depressed and whatever's going on, that's fine. All emotions are perfectly good. It's just when we try to tell ourselves we're not feeling something is when those emotions are not good. So truth is higher than anything. When we're truthful to ourselves, that's when healing comes through. So I don't know that your living situation is the problem here. It just feels like there's so much compiled on top. Sorry. Jen, just let me know where you think you're going to have surgery. I don't think you will, but I'm not totally sure about that. Okay. All right, June, I'm sorry. I wish I could help that one more. Lots going on health-wise. You have a big family, Antoinette. I remember they all came through in one gallery. So we have a big family. It's like the Kennedys. It's like something always happening. Missy, I feel like just keep smiling. I don't know why I hear that, but it's like just keep putting a big smile on, please. Just like beam your light. Be you. I know that sounds so vague and stupid, but like just be you. Let's see. Kieran, that question is great. I know you asked one already, but he's asking, when do you think I will step into a new rebirth where I feel more centered and free to be who I am? First of all, when we turn 40, that totally happens just naturally. At 40, we're like, I don't give a shit about anything. I'm just going to be who I am. It's wonderful. So, but in addition to that, we're always evolving into that. So we become someone, and then even that gets old, and then we become someone new. So there's no final destination. It's just like this, like that's where the lotus flower with all those, it keeps opening and evolving. So think of yourself as in process and constantly unfolding and opening versus finally I'm completely free. Because like myself, I have a great career, I have great friends, great family, beautiful home. I've got everything, but I still don't feel done. I still don't feel like I'm fully who I am. And so it's just because it's a total process. And I do think that search of who we are keeps us the drive of us moving forward. So never lose the drive to keep discovering who you are. But when you're 40, you're totally not going to give a shit. Okay, so let's see. I think I got everybody who did ask. I am going to thank you all for tuning in, and that was my little Happy New Year's to all of you. I don't always do intuitive questions Jennifer, I see your answer. No, I don't think you will. I really, really don't think you're going to have surgery. I don't know if there's a procedure, something less than, or something not what you did last time. So, um, a little bit less than, maybe it's like a DNC or something like that. But I don't think it's surgery. So thank you, everyone. Every Monday night at 8:30, this is when you can join me. Usually it's generalized questions, or I discuss a certain topic. Tonight I just threw in for your loyalty to watching me the time for intuitive questions. So I'll see you next Monday at 8:30. This Sunday I have a gallery at the Old Erie in Middletown. I don't know if it's sold out or not. The following Sunday in Walden at the Hudson Valley Conservatory, I have a fundraiser that we're doing there, and there are seats available for that one. So check those two out, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the flip side soon. So have a good, wonderful night, a wonderful week, and I will see you all next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.